Hey, David Chenault here, KPXI, KWRD General Manager. Going to give you a tour of the behind-the-scenes work here at the radio station, some of the equipment that makes all the things happen. Walk through the building and give you an idea of what it looks like on the inside. So come on. So here we are inside of the radio station here located on Highway 259. Our offices are open weekdays from about 8 in the morning till about 6 p.m. at night. Usually someone here is here until 6 o'clock in the evening. We are closed on Saturday and on Sundays. At the radio station we actually have two stations and what we call actually three signals. We have the KPXI radio station, which is 100.7 FM. It's our country station. And we also have the legacy station here in Henderson, been here for a long time, KWRD 1470 AM. And we also have 103.9 FM here in Henderson as well, which really kind of broadcasts the 1470 signal, rebroadcasts that for around the area. You'll hear things on KWRD like Henderson Lion football and sports from in the spring for Henderson as well. On the KPXI station, a lot of times you'll hear things from ARP and Troop, Overton, and some of the surrounding areas. So let's go back to one of the studios. We'll take a look at the KWRD studio to begin with. So this is our first studio. We call it Studio A. It's where all of the programming for KWRD 1470 AM and 103.9 FM originates. Over here we have our rack behind our broadcast board. This broadcast board is again connected to the AM station. The rack here actually feeds information for both of our radio stations. It's kind of our window to the world. We have lots of outside information that we pull in from around the world, including things like sporting events, like the Major League Baseball, Texas Rangers, Houston Astros. We also do things like NBA for the Mavericks and the Houston Rockets, Dallas Mavericks, Houston Rockets, NFL teams, the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans, and then NCAA teams, college football, college basketball, all kinds of sporting events all come through our racks here with our satellite dishes back in the back. We'll take a look at those here in a little while as well. We can also bring you up-to-the-minute information from around the world, such as Texas State Network News and ABC News, both of which come through our rack here as well as breaking news information, such as weather alerts, which comes through our emergency alert system, which is located right here in our rack. So if there's ever any kind of weather problems outside, you can always tune to any one of our three stations and pick up local information immediately that we bring through here, and then also that we report here locally. From here we're going to move on into our transmitter room, where we'll take a look at our AM transmitter located right in our own building. So this is our transmitter room. We're very fortunate to have our transmitter on site here in the Henderson area for our AM transmitter. This is a Nautel 5,000 watt AM transmitter, relatively new, about 2.5, 3 years old, which works wonderfully for us. Of course, it's connected by tie or feed line directly out to our tower right behind the building back here. The transmitter here allows us a lot of flexibility to repair things if we need to, kind of keep an eye on it. We don't have to go anywhere for it. It's all located right here on the site, which is a big benefit for a lot of reasons. Now we do have two other transmitter sites. One of them is the 103.9 FM transmitter, which is located about a mile or so this direction toward the behind the Boral Brick plant here in Henderson, between there and the loop. And then a second transmitter site, which is actually our 100.7 FM KPXI signal, located between Overton and Troop. It's about 20 miles back to our east. And that is our site for our FM signal, about an 8,000 watt FM signal, which covers most of the area from Tyler all the way to Carthage, from Gladewater and Gilmer down through Kilgore, all the way down to Jacksonville and the Rusk area. The AM transmitter here gets a similar coverage area. It is also a daytime transmitter, which means at night you have to turn it down to about 40 watts. Daytime about 5,000, about 40 watts at night or less, because of FCC requirements, and we have to turn that thing down, so it makes it much more difficult to listen to, unless you're living in the Henderson area. Again, you can tune into the 103.9 FM. And this equipment over here, our Optimod, our Marty STL, kind of an alphabet soup of names, but this is what controls the other transmitter sites, takes our signal from the studios, feeds them through here, and sends them up to a microwave dish on top, and shoots it over to our signal. So from here we're going to step out back real quick, take a look at the transmitter site's antenna site, and then we'll go back into the final studio for our last visit. So here we are, just outside the back door of our station facility, kind of catty corner to the back. We have a large area of property out here, a couple of acres, with our AM tower site located on the back. And as you can see behind me, the tower site's located right here. It's a guide tower all the way up to the top. This tower is kind of special because for AM towers, the tower itself is the antenna. There's no additional antenna attached to it. The tower itself acts as the antenna and radiates the full power. You know, 5,000 watt power, 5,000 watt transmitter we looked at just a little while inside the building, connected directly to this tower, and then it radiates out around the area. Now, it's a very dangerous place too, and that's why you'll notice behind me there's some signs and a fence around the base of the tower, because if you walked up and actually touched the tower, it could kill you or at least give you some very severe burns. So we always are very careful, protect the base of the tower. You never want to walk up to a tower that's actually radiating power, especially an AM tower. Now we'll see over here behind me, you can also possibly see the satellite dish. This is one of 3 satellite dishes we have on the property here, which again connects to that rack of equipment that we looked at earlier, that brings in all the information from around the world, news and information, sports, and those kind of things that we can use on the air. So we'll go back inside, visit our last studio, what we call Studio B, where really all the magic happens, where our DJs sit, where we control all the stations from one studio. We'll look at that here next. And so here we are in Studio B, as we call it, studio for KPXI 100.7 FM. And really, this is our main studio. This is the studio where everything really happens. From this one studio, we can control both stations, KPXI and KWRD. We can feed sporting programs and news programs to both stations and kind of control both the satellite feeds, the stations, and the transmitters from all the sites right out of this studio. And you'll notice this studio is a little more modern than the other studio, a newer board. We also have our computer systems over here. Everything nowadays is digital. So all of our audio comes in MP3s. If you have an MP3 player, you're playing the same kind of music that we're playing on the radio, and we can feed them, although we can also feed off of CDs and other equipment as well, tapes and those kind of things. But most of our stuff is digitally downloaded from websites or from providers who have the music that we can use. It's all fed into the system here, where it tracks it all together. It puts it together in different individual tracks, our spots and our songs. We can pull everything in and play it. We can let it run a little bit automatically, where you hear in the background playing, for example, our songs playing here. We can break in and do live breaks, do DJ breaks. We can record a few ahead of time if we need to, but most of it's all controlled through these computers here. We have a secondary computer here which helps us to control, bring in information, control the other studio if we need to as well. So there you are, a look at the back behind the scenes at the radio stations, KPXI, KWRD. If you'd ever like to take the tour in person, we'd love to have you come by and visit us. You can also email us through our website, mykpxi.com. Visit us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/mykpxi, or simply just come by the studio. We'd love to have you. Thanks. Have a great day.